and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today we are taking care of our level 40 White Mage quest. Oh brother, where art thou? Hello there, Rhea Osena. Let's go ahead and talk to, I guess, your Moogles first, and then talk to you about what's going on. Why I've served Rhea— okay, yeah, this is going to be the same dialogue we always get from you, never mind. Hello, Rhea Osena. Rhea Osena would ask a favor of you. Before we get to that, Cure 3 restores own or target party members' HP and all party members nearby target. It is a multi-person, it is an AoE cure. Oh, fantastic. Satora, I owe you an apology. When last we spoke, I promised that I would find a way to convince my brother to accept you, but I fear he intently refuses to heed my words. Why, the more I try to reason with him, the more he shuts his ears to me. All pride and no common sense, that one. I can scarce believe we are kin. So intent is he to prove that you are unneeded that he dashed out into the forest all alone, boasting that he would placate every last elemental and save the forest all by himself. He seems very mature, for sure. Needless to say, such a task is far beyond his powers. There is a part of me that would like nothing more than to see the foolish boy learn his lesson, and yet, as his sister, I fear for him. Would you go look after him, Satora? Seed or no, he is in many ways still a child, and the forest grows ever more unsafe these days. I thought to go myself, but if you were to save my brother from his own recklessness, perhaps he might finally see how fatuous he has been. When last I spoke with him, he announced his intentions to begin his efforts in the Bramble Patch. With any luck, you may still find him there. Now, please go in haste before some ill fate befalls him. Alright then, up to East Shroud to go to the Bramble Patch and see if we can catch up with A-Ruhn Senna. Alright, heading into the Bramble Patch now, just north of the Hawthorn Hut. Looks like we're gonna need to go all the way up to the northwest to around where the jumping Gigas are at. If you've been following the crafting videos, you know we occasionally need Scalekin blood, and this is the best place to get it. So, let's see. Hello there, Gigas, and hello there, oh dear. A-Ruhn, what have you gotten yourself into? This don't look great. If it isn't my sister's favorite adventure, come to show me up, have you? Well, you can march right back and tell sister that I'm doing just fine. I am only resting. Even if I were hurt and unable to placate this tree, what could a run-of-the-mill adventure like you do about it? Probably fix it. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's a lot of angry spirits. Hello there, angry sprites. Let's do this. Let me go ahead and get arrow on all of you, actually. And then we can get to work on killing you off one at a time so you can chill. Oh, good, and a Giga got into the mix. Let's see. Cure myself. Ow. Probably stick a regen on myself as well. They aren't tough, there's just a lot of them. Alright, now let's calm the tree. Beginner's luck. If you think healing a sapling or two is going to convince me that you are worthy inheritor to the teachings of Master Atoa. A-Ruhn, you yourself do not believe those words. Sister, what are you doing here? Seeing to my pig-headed brother's safety, what do you think I'm doing? For better or worse, it would appear you suffer only from bruises to your leg and your pride. A-Ruhn, for all your I know the word comes from obstinance. Why can't I read that? Obstinacy. That does not sound right in the slightest. I know that deep down you are no fool. No, you are wise beyond your years. You realize as well as I the dire fate that will befall Gridania if we do not quell the Great One's fury and restore peace to the wood. The adventure is not Pajali, that is true. But what of it? Would you blindly trumpet tradition as the very forest turns against us and brings ruin to our home? We have a greater calling to answer, you know this. I do, sister. Oh, my dear A-Ruhn. What are sisters for if not to forgive their little brothers' fits of folly? Now, Satora, I believe the most important task of all still awaits us. Let us return to Camp Tranquil. Alright, hopefully we're gonna get some reflection out of him now. Let's get back to Camp Tranquil. Alright, Rhea Osena, I return. How are things going for your brother now? Satora, thank you. I knew it was only a matter of time before A-Ruhn came around to reason, and yet his hesitance to accept you was not entirely unfounded. When we first met, I promised that one day I would share with you the tale of how white magic came to be regarded as a forbidden art. Well, I suppose this is as good a day as any for the telling. The tale begins some 3 millennia ago in the 5th Astral Era. It was a time of the endless frost when a barren wasteland of snow and rime stretched as far as the eye could see. Food was scarce and warmth scarcer. The histories hold many a grim tale of those who died in their beds, starving and benumbed. So did our ancestors discover magic, born out of the most fundamental instinct, survival. In time, the winter thawed and magic was no longer essential for survival. But once awakened to its conveniences, there was no returning to how things once were. Ere long, the people discovered all the myriad ways in which magic could be employed, and civilization flourished. But prosperity breeds contempt, and nation warred for power and riches. So did the people seek greater and greater power to rain destruction down upon their enemies. So was born black magic, the most devastating form of sorcery the world had seen. At the same time, another form of magic emerged, and brought forth by those who would keep this immense destructive power in check. That is white magic, our magic. Does this surprise you? Just as there can be no dawn without the night, the white and the black are but two sides of the same coin. War raged on, and magic was used and abused with little concern for the consequences. And consequences there were. Unchecked use of magic soon dried the flow of ether, threatening to bring blight to the land. The magic of healing? It made little difference. If used with no concern for the ether, our magic could prove as ruinous to the land as the most devastating black magic spell. And so it was that the practicing of white magic was forbidden, with one exception. The Pajal. Our kind were entrusted as sole shepherds of the now forbidden art, to serve as healers and bringers of peace while ensuring that this great power would never again be misused. Though he is still young, A-Ruhn feels his profound sense of responsibility as strongly as any of us, thus his hesitance to accept you. But having seen your abilities and the sincerity of your intentions, you can rest assured his doubts have been dispelled. With the 3 of us united in place and purpose, and your skills ever growing, the day that we may perform the quieting draws near. To our fortune, the Great One has not yet been entirely consumed by fury, but our time remains short. To commune with the Great One and restore the 12 Wood to its former state of harmony, we must truly be of one heart, one of mind. It is to this end that Atoa Kant has guided you to us. Further your mastery of our art, Satora, and let us mend the wounds of the wood together. Alright, sounds good. That is a 550 potency AoE heal. I am very glad to have that. I want to compare that against Medica, what the difference is. Because I have to imagine, like, it can't just be a straight replacement, right? Oh, also level up. Any new gear? Lots of new gear. Okay, no materia to remove or extract. We'll just hop on up to the next tier. And let's get that spell put in place. Before... Oops, no, I didn't mean to use it. Before I commit to that position for it, I do want to see... That is 550 potency, 1500 MP, versus 900 MP, 300 potency. Okay, so Medica's centered on yourself, Cure 3 is centered on whoever you target. What's the potency per MP cost? Or I guess MP per potency cost. 900 MP for 300 potency, that's 3 per. And 1500 MP for 550 potency, I believe it was, is 2.7. that would mean that Cure 3 is slightly cheaper to use over Medica. They both have a 2-second cast time. It almost feels like a straight replacement. I mean, you would need to use Medica if you ended up in a lower level dungeon or duty. But, and I guess Medica could be more useful if you don't need that much healing or if your MP is a little bit short, but it almost feels like Cure 3 almost feels like a straight replacement for Medica, so I might do that or do that. I'll have to figure that out later, and also I need to finish setting up my AoE hotbar because it's only partially set up, as you can tell. Alright then. The story that Rhea Osena told us just there was definitely the story of... It was leading from the 5th Umbral era, where everything was frozen in ice, through the... 5th Umbral? No. Yes, 5th Umbral era, into the 5th Astral era, which led into the War of the Magi, where black and white magic were developed. And then the overuse of those dried the ether of the land, with the exception of water ether. Water is the one element that's not really used all that much by white mage or black mage. I mean, technically our healing abilities are somewhat water aspected, but it's generally, compared to the others, like, we use stone and wind, we use earth and wind for our actual combat. So, water wasn't really used that heavily by white mages, and it was definitely not used by black mages, so it ended up being the only ether left over, which caused a giant flood, which would have been the 6th Umbral Calamity. Ah, the War of the Mages, the War of the Magi. Definitely a pretty major event in recent history. Not quite as recent or major as, of course, Dalamud falling, but yeah. 3 whole jobs are wrapped up in the War of the Magi. Anyways, I'll see everyone next time as we return to Kurthus to see what we can do to stop the fake Inquisitor. I'll see everyone next time for that.